Okay, so standing at the top of the mat like this, with your feet hip width apart, your hands down by your side, palms facing forward. Pressing up and out of your feet, reaching your crown up towards the sky as you press your feet down. Making sure that you're not locking your knees while doing so. Keep a baby bend in them. Spreading your toes if you like, pressing your big toes down into the mat. And see if you can lift the arch of your foot as you do so. If you can, try raising your big toe off of the mat first. Really flex the big toe off and then place them back. Making sure that your pelvis isn't tipping too much forward or backward. Rolling your shoulders up, back and down if you need to, standing tall. And imagine that you've got a line or a stream of energy coming from your heart up and out through your crown and down and through your feet, reaching in both directions and maybe even through your hands and fingertips as well. Becoming aware of yourself, aware of your body, closing your eyes if you hadn't yet. Starting to bring your awareness towards your breath. Taking gentle inhales, gentle exhales. And rooting your breath all the way down towards the bottom of your belly. And really take your time today to simply be aware, be here. Maybe set an intention for your practice. And from here, whenever you feel ready, take a big breath in to reach up and look up. Make yourself as tall as possible, reaching to the ceiling. And then exhale, keep reaching up and then reaching forward as you shift your hips back, keeping your spine straight, reaching your fingertips forward, and eventually all the way down to the floor. You can bend your knees if you need to, or maybe you don't even need to, but it just feels nice, swaying from side to side, maybe bending one knee then the other. Not much, just a little. And then from here, start to walk your hands all the way over towards your right, bending your left knee, pressing away from the fingertips, squeezing right hip up, right shoulder down, stretching your left side lower back. And you can bend both knees if you need to here as well. Or maybe put your hands on blocks, also possible. Slowly walk your hands all the way back center and through to your left. Bend your left knee. Keep your right leg straight if you can. Squeezing left hip up, left shoulder down. And making sure that your neck is just relaxed. Gently coming all the way back through center. Inhale, press up and out of either the floor or your shins. We halfway lift, create a flat spine. Exhale, we fold all the way back down. Going to do this a couple more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Reaching your crown forward. Tailbone reaches back. Again, imagine a stream of energy going out through both ends. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, fold. Last one. And you can, again, also do this with your hands on blocks if you like. Inhale, hands up, halfway lift. Exhale, we come all the way down. Bring your hands to the floor. Gently step yourself back into a downward facing dog. Starting to bend one knee, straighten the other, walk it out. If you need to, maybe take your socks off or anything that will make moving uncomfortable. Making sure that your feet are hip width and not together here, giving your spine space. Moving slowly, moving consciously. Pressing up and out of your fingertips. Elbows have a baby bend and are wrapping down. Tailbone is pressed up towards the sky. Breathing in to lift both heels high, bend your knees. Press your chest back, turbo dog. We round and curl forward here into a high plank. Bring your shoulders past your wrists. Bend your knees, bend your elbows. Flip your tailbone up and then press yourself back. Inhale, we round and curl the spine. Again, press off of your toes. Legs are straight here. We parachute ourselves forward. Shoulders way past the wrists. Bend your knees, bend your elbows. Press yourself back. Try to create as much spinal movement as you can here. Exaggerate the shape as much as you can. Moving slowly so that you can move consciously. 3 more. Making sure to really grip the floor. Fingertips are spread. Taking long and deep breaths. Last one. We breathe in, we round and curl ourselves forward. Once we get there, this time hips dip all the way down towards the floor. Untuck your toes, big stretch for your belly. Baby bend in the elbows, maybe a little bit more than just that. Wrap your elbows back into your rib cage. Imagine you can pull yourself through in between your wrists. Exhale, we come all the way down. Inhale again, we lift up into a cobra or an up dog, whatever you're ready for. Letting your head fall back here and slowly coming all the way down. Head stays heavy and comes last. Let your forehead come forward again, head heavy. Press your shoulder blades back as we roll up. And exhale as you pull your heart forward and come all the way back down to the floor. Last one. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we come down. Pressing yourself all the way back through tabletop into that downward facing dog. Big breath in, reach your right leg up towards the sky. Bend your knee, open up your hip. And even make this transition slow and controlled, starting to make some hip circles. Because sometimes when we're in class and I make that cue, or I give that cue, I see people going, and they're there. The transitions are just as much part of the practice as the postures themselves are. They might even be more important. So today, really pay attention to them, especially in the vinyasa part of the class. Switching directions, circling the other way around. Last one. Right toes all the way up to the sky. Slowly come forward, right knee to nose before you step it through in between the hands. Making sure there's enough space in between your feet. Making sure that they're hip width. Pull your right hip forward and your left hip up. And then from here, we roll our shoulders up, back, and down so that the fingertips lift off of the floor. From here, we sweep the floor all the way up, crescent lunge. Right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward here. Move your pubic bone to your belly button and your ribs away from your front thigh. Exhale, we open up, warrior two. Inhale, flip your palms and reach. Exhale, reverse. Bending further into the right knee and sending it over towards the right side of your mat. Right hand pulls you all the way back up. Windmill your left hand down to the floor. Right hand to sky. Find your twist. And stay on your feet here. So don't move to the feet edges. Slowly bring your right hand towards the outside of the right foot. Bring your left knee down. We shift the weight back and flex into a half splits. Inhale, heart to toes, maybe hands on blocks if you like. Exhale, pull your right heel in and towards you. Spine as straight as you can. Slowly bend back forward into your right knee. Both hands frame your foot. Raise your left knee off of the mat, creating space between you and the floor beneath you. See if you can drag that right leg through with a straight leg, or maybe it even hovers off of the mat. We come back forward from here. High plank. High plank to low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in, left leg to the sky. Bend your knee, open up your hips. Start making those hip circles, making them consciously, slowly. Drawing that circle into the sky with your knee. Trying to be aware or becoming aware of all the parts in your body that are collaborating to support this whole. Even all of your 5 toes individually. Circling the other way around. Big breath in, left toes all the way up to the sky. Step it through, left leg in between your hands. Trying to step it down as softly as you can. Pressing high off of your back toes. Right leg is active, muscle hugs bone. Rolling your shoulders up, back, and down so that the fingers can float. Reaching your heart forward, and we sweep the floor. Come up, crescent lunge. Right hip pulls forward, left hip pulls back. We open, warrior two. Root your right heel down, look over your left fingertips. Flip your palms and reach. Exhale, we reverse. Send your left knee forward and towards the left side of your mat. Creating an arch in your left foot. Left hand pulls you all the way up. Windmill your right hand down. Left hand comes up to the sky. Take a twist. Slowly bring your left hand down towards the floor. Right knee drop, shift your weight back and flex, half splits. Inhale, heart to toes. Exhale, tailbone to sky. Baby bend in the left knee. Staying connected to your breath, even here, breathing in and out of your nose, closing your mouth. And keeping your mind and your focus on this practice. Just this, just now. Gently walk your hands back forward. Both hands frame your foot. Tuck your right toes under, raise the right knee. Get your hips as high as you can. Press away from the floor, round and curl your spine. And then from there, maybe left leg comes up all the way straight. Three-legged dog. We come back forward, high plank. High plank to low plank. And if you need to today, bring your knees to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Finding quality over quantity. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in, look in between your hands. Exhale, bend your knees, step or jump your way forward. In between your hands. Inhale, we halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Head and hands stay heavy, we slowly roll all the way up. Once you're up, shoulders move up, back, and down, Tadasana. Inhale, we reach up and look up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hold your breath, hands to the floor and step back, high plank. Knees to the floor if you need to, high plank to low. Inhale, upward facing dog. Always choosing the option that you can do with integrity. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a big breath in, look in between your hands. Exhale, bend your knees, lift your heels high. We're going to jump outside and back, thinking about getting your hips over your wrists. Jumping outside and back. Outside and back. Last one. Outside, back, step or jump your way in between your feet. Inhale, we halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Bend your knees, head and hands stay heavy. Slowly roll all the way up to stand. Once you get there, shoulders move up, back, and down. Tadasana again. Big breath in, we reach up and look up. Exhale, sit down into your chair. Utkatasana, chair pose. Just one breath. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we fold. Hands to the floor, step back, high plank. Knees to the floor, maybe high plank to low. Inhale, upward facing dog. Don't rush through this. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walking your hands all the way to the back of your mat to meet your feet. Making sure your feet are hip width. Inhale, we halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Taking any arm variation that you like. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows. Maybe hands behind the head, like when you do a sit-up. Shaking your head yes. And shaking your head no. And then from here, wherever you are, drop your hands back to the floor again. We walk ourselves out, downward facing dog. Big breath in, lift your right leg up towards the sky. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Stay here or flip into a wild thing. And you can bend into your left knee first if you need to, but make sure you straighten it after. Right knee is bent, left knee is straight. Right heel is lifted, left heel is down. Try to root the full left foot down onto the floor. Let your right shoulder blade fall heavy. Rotating it back behind you. Slowly come all the way back. Right hand to the floor, right knee, right elbow. We hold for 3, for 2, and 1. We press it up and back. 3-legged dog. Right leg to the sky. Step your right foot through in between the hands. We rise up, crescent lunge. Again, set yourself up strong. Press off of your back toes. So basically what I mean by that is just making sure that that left leg is not limp here. Muscle hugs bone, you press yourself forward. Right knee moves forward, right hip pulls back. Heart moves up. Exhale, hands come down from here. We step back, high plank. This time, chin, chest, and throat come down towards your mat. Elbows squeeze into the rib cage. Tucking your toes under if there weren't yet, scooping yourself forward and up. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in, left leg to the sky, bend your knee, open up your hip. And we flip. Ooh, wild thing. Slowly we come back. Left hand comes down towards the floor. Left knee, left elbow, we squeeze it in. And then we come all the way back up, three-legged dog. Step it through in between the hands. We rise up. Crescent lunge. Inhale, fingertips reach up. Exhale, hands come down to meet the floor. We step back, high plank. Knees, chest, and chin come all the way down, making sure your hips are up. No, me here. Me here. Scooping yourself forward and up from here. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Staying here for 4 deep breaths. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Again, really big breath in. And out. Keep wrapping your elbows back. Pressing up and out of those shoulders, resist gravity. "30 more seconds until we find the yin part of this class. Okay, big breath in, right leg meets the sky, make it a big, nice, beautiful stretch. Right knee, right wrist, bring your right foot over towards the left side of the mat, scoot your left heel back. Keep the toes tucked under though, your left toes, and your right knee doesn't have to be at 90 degrees. For most people it will not be. Either staying up high all the way here or coming down low into the forearms, maybe taking a block underneath the forehead. Or maybe you want to come all the way down into your arms and stretch them out. The only thing that I want you to really take into account, especially in this practice since we've warmed up a little bit, is to make sure that you're not going to 100%. Don't practice the full variation even if you can necessarily, unless the full variation feels like nothing to you. And this is because our muscles, they love dynamic movement, they love vinyasa. But once we warm them up and we get then into yin, we risk overstretching. And with overstretching, we risk injury. And I always want you to be safe in class. So make sure that you're somewhere within the posture that is manageable, that is responsible. A little bit of stretch is okay. It should never be excruciating. Having that said, please close your eyes and bring yourself back to the intention that you set at the beginning of the practice. Fueling that intention by breathing into it. Staying here for 1 more minute. And if you find your mind wandering on any other subject than your practice, you gently and kindly bring yourself back to where you need to be. It can wait until after. It's okay. And breathing in to gently walk your way up to seated. Pressing up and out of your fingertips, stepping back into our downward facing dog. Big breath in, left leg meets the sky. Left knee, left wrist. Sliding the right toes back. Half pigeon. Squeezing right hip forward, left hip back here. Finding the edge of the posture for you. And if at any point in this practice you feel like your body has cooled down since vinyasa and you're a little bit chilly or a little bit cold, then grab your blankets or your hoodies or whatever you need to keep warm and put it on when we transition into the next posture. Staying here for just 3 more minutes from now. Making sure that your jaw is softened. There's no tension in your eyebrows or your neck. One more minute here. Breathing in to gently come all the way back up. This time, instead of coming to a downward facing dog, shift your weight over to your left hip. Kick both of your feet forward. Taking the support you had out of the way, if you had any. Keeping your feet hip width, making sure you're sitting on your sit bones. Inhale, both of your hands up towards the sky. Your knees can bend here, it's okay. Exhale, push your heart up as you fold forward. Grabbing anything you can. It could be underneath the knees. I still sometimes find this really, really nice to do. It gets you a little bit deeper into the lower back. Maybe grab your ankles, your shins, your feet. Maybe you want to put a block in between your legs so that your head can rest on something. Or maybe you don't need it. And making sure that as you're here, you've chosen a version of the posture where your arms are not working out. Sometimes when you go too deep, it becomes really tough for the arms because we don't really have the flexibility yet to actually go there within yin. We might do within vinyasa, but not with this practice. So make sure that your arms can be soft. Your legs can be soft. There's just stretch. Staying here for 3 more minutes. And just know as well that the posture starts when you want to exit it. Not including pain, of course. Pain is a one-way ticket out of your posture, always. But if for any other reason than physical damage, you're staying. And meet yourself there. See what happens if you do stay. Without wiggling. Mentally or physically. And always remember to keep breathing. If you're distracted, you come back to your breath. One more minute. Breathing in to gently roll yourself all the way up. Once you're up, reach up towards the ceiling again. Left hand grabs right wrist. Pull yourself over to your left. We come all the way up back. Right hand grabs your left wrist. Lean over to your right. Your right elbow can be bent, knees can be bent. Slowly come all the way back. Bending your knees in. And then don't roll down, just grab underneath your knees and lean your way back. Press your feet gently into the floor and then reach your heart up to the sky. Maybe you let your head fall back. Encouraging a very slight back bend. You can even press your sit bones back and into the floor. Push your shoulder blades back behind the spine as well here. Gently come back. Placing your left hand on the outside as at the right knee. Your left hand on the outside of the right knee. Right hand is going to come back. We're just going to do a simple little twist to counteract the deep forward fold. We come all the way back center. Right hand to the outside of the left knee. Left hand to the base of your spines. And we twist over to the left, looking over the left shoulder. And from here, we come all the way back. Let your knees fall wider. Take the soles of your feet together. You can take your heels closer to you or further away from you. Now from here, if your spine still feels very tender, simply lie back onto your spine on a flat surface, so just your mat. If you feel like you're ready for a little more, you place a block at around the space where, if you were imagined to lay back, the block should land in between your shoulder blades. You can place it like this, on a medium, on a high, or on low, up to you. Making sure that it is on a setting that you can maintain. Gently lying back, making sure that it really is in the center. You can adjust if you need to. And as you lie back, your head can either come towards the back of the block, maybe your crown of your head is on the floor, or maybe you need a cushion or another yoga block to support your head if you prefer. If this is hurting your neck, then feel free to go here. Staying here for 5 minutes in total. And using this heart opener to take deep breaths in towards the bottom of your belly. And I say deep, but keep it gentle at the same time. Or maybe you simply want to pay attention and create awareness around your breath. Making sure to relax your jaw and your eyebrows. Your head is simply falling heavy, relaxing your neck. And if you want more of a shoulder opening posture, you can always take your hands up above your head. Thirty more seconds from now. Taking a big breath in to gently start supporting yourself again on your elbows. Walking them in, maybe bringing your chin towards your chest. Gently making your way back up so that you can remove the block that is underneath you. Bring your knees together and roll yourself all the way back onto the floor. Take the opposite with your feet. So walking them wide and then letting your knees fall in. And you are supposed to feel a little stretch here. Sometimes it comes within a minute and not immediately. But if you don't feel it in like 20 seconds, then take your feet a little wider and let your knees fall in from there. Maybe you want to bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. And from here, gently start to heel toe your feet back together. Keeping your big toes on the floor, lifting just the heels off. Placing your right leg on top of your left, like when you sit fancy in a chair. Bringing both of your arms out to 90 degrees and then letting your legs fall over to your right from exactly where they are. Encouraging your right shoulder black back behind you. And if this is too deep of a stretch, you can always unravel. Maybe you want to bring your left hand to your right knee and your right hand to your right side rib cage, encouraging them in opposite directions, pressing your right hip over towards your left as you bring the right rib cage closer to the floor. Staying here for about 2 minutes. Keeping your awareness on your intention, mind your focus. Notice how the posture affects your breath. Gently bringing yourself all the way back center. Unraveling your legs. Again, taking your big toes to the mat, heels lift off. Left leg crosses on top of your right leg this time. Spreading your arms and then letting your legs fall over towards the right, keeping your left shoulder planted onto the mat. And again, maybe you want to bring your left hand over to your left side rib cage and your right hand to your left knee, completely optional. Eyes fall towards your left. Gently rolling all the way back center from here as you breathe in. Unravel your legs and hug them into your chest when you're ready. From here, just for 1 minute, we find either happy baby, grabbing the outsides of the feet while keeping your elbows on the insides of the knees, bringing your knees to either 90 degrees Or if you keep your heels closer to your hips, it will be less intense. Wherever you are, keep wrapping your tailbone down to the floor, your shoulder blades back behind the spine. Or maybe you want to bring your peace sign fingers to your toes and get into a straddle splits. Or maybe you want to be somewhere in between. Thirty more seconds. From here, gently bring your knees back together. Bending your knees, hugging your knees into your chest. Wrapping your arms around yourself and giving yourself a big squeeze, big hug. If you feel like you are missing anything today, feel free to take these last few moments to do whatever you need to feel complete. Otherwise, you give yourself a big squeeze, activate every single muscle in your body. Squeeze, squeeze, tight, tight. And then with your next exhale, letting go of everything and falling heavy into your Shavasana, your corpse pose. Resting onto the floor. Take anything you need to feel comfortable and safe here, whether that's blankets, jumpers. Closing your eyes. Taking inventory of yourself. Notice how you are. Keeping your jaw soft, your eyebrows soft. Your arms, hands, and fingertips. Letting your muscles fall off of your bones. Through your torso as well, relaxing everything. Through your hips, your upper legs, your knees, shins, and calves. All the way through your ankles, your heels, your feet, and to your toes. Letting your eyes fall heavier in their sockets. Melting your tongue off of the roof of your mouth. And knowing that here, in the comfort of your own home, it is safe to let go and drift away into a deep relaxation. And if any thought or emotion comes up, it's okay, it can come up and then come down, arrive and then leave again. Knowing that it is not necessary to hold on to everything that arrives. Sometimes things enter just for you to let them go. And from here, gently start to become aware of the air entering and leaving your nose, the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe in and breathe out. And notice just how effortlessly your body takes in air, transforms it into life force into your lungs to hand it off to your blood to go and feed every single cell of your body. And when you think about it, just this process is incredible. And there is so much more than just that your body does for you. So take a moment to thank your body. For carrying you for all that it does, for taking care of you. And as well, find a conscious moment to thank yourself for showing up to your practice. For taking care of that body and of your mind. And from here, I invite you to stay here in this relaxation for however long you like, or however long you need. Allow yourself to enjoy this you feel ready, take a gentle breath in to come all the way back to your body. Maybe first you want to roll to one side. Before you come all the way up to seated in your own way and in your own time. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll leave you here to enjoy your own space, your own energy.